Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This time I want to talk a little bit about some that I've covered a little bit before. This is Crossfire from Spire Christian Comics from 1976 by Hartley. And I've done a Spire comic once before and showed some of the covered the story in one issue and talked a little bit about some of the others, because some of the Spire comics, they never had a regular, like a run of characters. They had licensed the use of Archie comics, Archie characters, for some of their religious books, and it was and those were written and drawn by Hartley. They were all drawn by Hartley, who was an established comic artist. And I'll cover him again. I talked about him before, but I'll cover him here again. Okay, and this is Spire Comics Crossfire from 1976 by Hartley. And for those who don't know, Spire Comics was a line of Christian comics published by Fleming H. Revell, starting in 1972. And Revell got cartoonist Hartley to adapt Christian-themed books they were publishing to comics. And with the aid of Hartley, they got to license Archie Comics characters for some of their comics. In 1973, launched a 19-issue run of Christian-themed Archie books. And I've only got a couple. I'd like to find more. In fact, I'd like to get more. I've got just probably a half dozen, or if even that, of these Spire comics, and I'd like to get a bunch more of them, just because they're unusual and I like them. And I've had some in the past that I have over time gotten rid of, and I wish I hadn't. But there you go. See, and Hartley was from 1921 to 2003. That would have made him 82. And of course, he's an American comic book writer and artist, best known for his work at Archie Comics. And he had also done much work at the pre-Marvel Atlas Comics. He had done some work on romance and humor comics, stuff like Patsy Walker and Patsy and Hetty, and similar titles. He had even done work on The Mighty Thor and some war comic stories. So, and his skill on the romance comics comes through in here, in this book. Now, okay, this book is called Crossfire. And get a little closer look. There's this. You can see it's done realistically. It's not using Archie style at all. And in here, it's adapting a story about a cop. And we start off with a car chase. And it shows he was pretty skilled at drawing cars. Car chase, and the person they're chasing winds up crashing his car. And of course, he's just a kid. He's always dealing with kids in here. but he's in trouble and he's loaded, and the kid starts griping and saying that his dad won't care. He bought it. He doesn't care what happens to the car. His dad bought it for him. His dad doesn't care. Now I wonder if that was intentional or not. But this character, his drawing of this character, looks a lot like a more realistic Archie to me. So I have to worry. Plus he was driving a red car, kind of like Archie, except of course Archie's not rich. And this is, here it is, as they're hauling in, and the kid is griping about his old man. He doesn't care, doesn't spend any time, and yada yada yada. Goes in, books him, and then he's off to another call. This one's a murder, and this young kid here was, I guess it was part of a gang initiation. Yeah, that's it, a gang initiation, and they all had to stab him, so that's why he's got like 27 stab wounds. I don't know how he's had a chance to count them yet. But this officer, Matt, is talking with him and said, yeah, they passed around the knife and they made everybody do it. I didn't want to, but they made me do it. And this is the only kid that they caught. And then he said, but what about your parents and yada yada. He says, well, it doesn't matter. He said, they thought I was at the movie and I've already seen it twice. And here they just drive by, and here looks like a sleazy part of town. No imagination on movie titles. Sensational crime show. It's always X-rated bloodbath and robberies and murders. That's not how they promote a movie. And they take him into booking, and then here's this gets in there, and here's this young lady, and the sergeant says, Matt, see what you can do with her. She was brought in off the street. And he introduces himself, and she's got she won't talk to him, and he's got takes her ID. So you can see the nice work on relatively nice, realistic looking figures here. And finds out who she is, and she's griping and she's talking about, oh yeah, adults, you're the problem. It's all you're talking about there is, sex. She's a runaway from California, and sex. That's all you're selling, sex. And so you shouldn't be shocked. And I suspect she was a teen prostitute, but they didn't go that far. And so there she is going. Then he brings out the Bible and says, oh, come off it, cop. I stopped reading the Bible a long time ago. And here she is in front of the judge. That was quick. And now this is totally unrealistic, even for 76. I don't think they would have done that. Where she is released into the custody of the cop. And he takes her home. Meets his wife. And they have all these pictures on the wall of all these other troubled girls who had stayed with them. That's kind of suspicious. They ask me, only troubled girls. And said, oh, so I'm joining the Rogues Gallery? And the wife says, I hope so, Diane. We love them all. Then they're having supper, have saying grace over time to eat. And again, you can just really see, he would have been good at the romances comics. He was nice, clean, realistic, not quite minimalistic, but it's getting there. It has the detail that's needed and little else. It's good, and he's good at drawing handsome, heroic-looking young men and very lovely young ladies, which was a requirement for doing romance comics. Now, after supper, said, "Oh, come on, we're going to go to a beach party." Goes, a beach party? That surprises her. And here they are on the beach. A scene that almost could have come right out of some of the Archie comics. Some surfing and swimming, and they're all having fun. And build a fire and late into the night. And then, Officer Matt leads a Bible study at a beach party. And does his little bit of preaching. And kind of get into an argument with one of the hippies on the beach. And then the next day, back at work, he's in a place where the bunch of hippie kids are crashing, where they're taking drugs and stuff, and they're griping about cops always hassling them and stuff. And remember, this is 76. There were still hippies around. I mean, young hippies. Now they're just old hippies. And they're griping, and he said, well, what if everybody just did their own thing, because they just want to do their own thing, and everyone hassle us, doesn't want us to have fun. So if everybody did their own thing, oh, it would be total chaos, stuff like that. Well, he's not wrong. And gets some more, and this one girl is griping and says how she had once tried to commit suicide, and says, how do I get out of this mess? I'll introduce you to a friend of mine. And he takes her home. So now he's got 2 young ladies living in his house with him and his wife. And of course, the wifey does the wifey stuff, is the mommy, and they go to church and all that other good stuff, which is fine. But again, this doesn't seem like something that would be the judge would have sent them to. Here we are back at the job again, and so someone has taken some people hostage. Some kids hostage. Said, be careful, Matt. He's armed to the teeth. Hold it, pig, or these kids die. He's got some kids hostage. He's wanting someone that they've got arrested, that they had previously arrested, in to be released. He says, let the hostages go. I'll take their place. No chance, hero. I want these cute kids for leverage. Those. What do you want? $1 million and the release of Tobar, whoever the heck that is. Did he kill 2 people? He belongs in jail. That's not. That's right. He does. And in the process, Matt. Oh. Then we have a change of scene to the wife, Matt's wife, and the 2 girls, and they're at they're being converted right now, seeing how great everything is. Meanwhile, Matt's still in trouble. Tear gas now! And they toss in the tear gas. And he goes, I hate you! He jumps out and starts firing, and Matt takes a few rounds. Bet they catch him. The cops catch him. Matt is sent to the hospital, and then Matt's wife and the girls are informed that Matt has been shot. He's in the hospital. And rushes him to the hospital. I mean, it's good, nice storytelling. It's a decent story. I enjoyed reading it. It gets a little preachy, but not overbearing. Not like in the Chick comics, which I have covered before, and I will cover again, because the Chick comics get so preachy, whatever story gets left out. They're there in the hospital, and they go. First thing to do is go to the chapel, and they all start praying. And then a bunch of other people start showing up. Other people that over the years Matt has helped, and they're just all talking about their stories and how he's helped them and stuff. Well, he's conscious, but he's not going to make it. And so he wanted everyone to gather around. And then he starts, with his last breaths, he starts witnessing to them, which is fine if that's what he wants to do. And everyone expresses their love for him and all that stuff. And then he passes away. Leaves his wife with him alone for a few minutes, and then he passes away. And everyone is so sad. It's just a very lovely, nice artwork. Nice and clean, good visual storytelling, and pretty dramatic in the dramatic scenes, and it tells it. I think it tells it well, artistically, and the way the story is constructed. Then here he is, and then they're all talking about how they'll see him again, and Matt's murder proves there's a devil. The way he died proves there's a God. Which is faulty logic. But if that's what they believe, that is fine. And then inside cover is ads for other publications from this publisher. Just as in the front there were ads for other comics from this publisher. And more on the back. A whole bunch of stuff that's available. A lot of Archie stuff. There's the Cross and the Switchblade, Time to Run, Archie's Parables, Through Gates of Splendor, yada yada yada. And it's a nice, enjoyable book. It's unconventional because it's not one of the mainstreams. I enjoy reading it. I don't believe in his theology, but I still enjoy reading it, and I don't begrudge anyone having their beliefs, as long as when expressing their beliefs doesn't involve threatening the lives and freedoms of other people, of other beliefs. And that's all. So that's all I've got for this book. It Crossfire, Al Hartley, and it's enjoyable. It's something out of the mainstream. Nowadays, all you're going to do is find them in the dollar boxes at the comic shops. If you find them at all, they're getting rare. And if you can find them, whether you're a believer or not, it doesn't matter. I recommend picking them up and reading them. They're enjoyable. They can be enjoyable. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and remember, comics are art.